Okay, welcome. Would you like to introduce your name, year, and what university you're studying?
My name is Walid. I am in year 3 and I'm studying computer science.
Why did you choose computer science?
Well, when I was young, I've been into computers for as long as I remember. Like I'd say in a sense it was more I enjoyed playing it, but I was always interested in on how things were made, like video games or apps or the various softwares. So I thought I'd pursue it as a career and maybe hopefully get into the development role.
And you've now been doing it for 3 years, right?
Yep.
What have you enjoyed the most about your course, and what have you hated? Or I say hated, what have you disliked the most about your course?
Well, part of it is on me because I feel like I haven't done enough research, but I'm not crazy about the theory. I'm more of an application coursework type of guy. I'm not crazy about exams either. That's some of the things I don't like. But what I do like is the projects they given us. So like we had a really short window. We had to make a fully functional app with a team of like 5 to 6 people. And we've had to make a computer network so people can send messages to each other. We've done a plethora of things that genuinely opens my eyes out to what I'd want to pursue or what I'd want to develop.
And those are the best things you said, but what were the worst things then?
No, I'd say the worst things are the
Those
exams.
things.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, I started with the worst things. Yeah,
okay, so the best things then.
yeah. I'd say so. The worst things would be the exams and the theory part,
Okay.
and the best things is developing things. Yeah.
Oh, so, okay. Just to go back, the worst things was the exams and the theory part. I'm just realizing what you just said. And then the best things are doing the networks,
Oh
communicating
yeah.
with the practicals, doing a variety of different things.
Yes.
Okay. And you chose to study at the University of St. George's.
As is originally called City University of London, but it's recently been renamed to City St. George's.
City St. George's. Did you choose that university?
Well, if I'm being really honest, I hope they don't see this, but it wasn't my first option. To be honest, I didn't get into Queen Mary or UCR, and one of my other options was City University, and they accepted me. So I'll be honest, I do prefer that because I do have friends that go to these various other unis, and they say, "Oh, uni looks a bit more. It feels like more like a community."
You're the university right now, or the university they go to?
The university that I'm in seems more like a community. Like there's no ego involved. You can always talk to anyone you want.
So as much as you
Mm.
didn't get your first choice, you're happy with the choice you made because
Mm.
it's not got that kind of competition atmosphere. You actually feel like you can study and get a good grade.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone can win. Yeah.
Okay. And if we go back to A levels, what are the best A levels to take for your course?
Best A levels to take, I'd say, I think it's just one. I think if you do mathematics, I never even did computer science for A levels or GCSEs. I did it. This is my first time actually doing it full time. I did it on my own, but the best A levels I'd say is just mathematics, really, and maybe one other STEM subject like chemistry or physics. But to get into this field, all you need is to be, I'd say, like an A grade math student.
Okay. And when it comes to why do you say maths for A level?
Well, it is a requirement to have some basic mathematics knowledge, especially on an A level, because a lot of mathematics is being used in where I didn't expect. You use a plethora of mathematics that you learned throughout A level, throughout GCSEs in computer science, and it could be in places you don't expect. Like you might have to convert from bytes to kilobytes, and even though they don't directly teach you that in mathematics, if you understand how prefixes work in maths, you can always translate that onto computer science. If you are making a video game and you need to, like, for example, if it's a shooter game, you'd have to calculate the angle between the arm that's holding the gun and where the bullet leaves from. Like, it's stuff like that.
It's complicated.
If you have a solid mathematics foundation, you can do that with ease. That's what I'd say.
And did you stay at home while studying, or did you move out?
And I still stay with my parents.
And what's that like staying at home for the whole 3 years compared to living in accommodations, in your personal opinion?
Well, I'd say I'm more of a stay-at-home guy in general. Like I've had my own spaces in the past. When I went back home to my country, I had my own space that I was staying in. When I went on holiday, I was staying in my own place. So I've kind of seen the contrast. It might not be particularly the same as studying while staying in accommodation, but I do also have a lot of close friends and I visit them in their accommodation. I'd say accommodation would require you to be more disciplined. Not to say that people that stay with their parents rely on their parents, but I feel like having a backbone, like if you have working parents, healthy parents, I think it's better to stay at home and like save money.
Okay. And do you feel like you missed out on anything being at home, or do you feel like you still got the full experience?
Well, yeah, no, I'd say. I don't think I'm still living the life I want to live, even though I'm with my parents. Like my parents more chilled out now that I'm at this age. They know I'm mature and I'm disciplined and I can conduct myself properly whenever I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing, whether I'm having fun or I'm going out with someone. But at the same time, I feel like I need my own space so I can discipline myself, to be honest. Like during the first year, I wasn't cleaning my room properly at all. I'm gonna be the first to admit I was not doing that. I wasn't cleaning my room properly. I wasn't doing much chores because I felt like I didn't have the discipline and my parents would help me with doing that. But now that I've reached this stage, I feel like I need to do that more than I currently do.
And when you do go on campus, is there any spots that I like go to for while you're there? Because obviously you have to stay there if you have a full day of lectures. But are there any like spots to like, yeah, this is a good space to chill, eat, just like vibe?
Well, believe it or not, the library has 3 floors, 3 different levels. There's the regular study, the more quiet study, and the complete silent study. I think the lower level library is a very, very peaceful, very nice place to, if you want to hang out with your friends, if you want to eat, if you want to charge your phone, it's one of the nicer places. We have our own department in our computer science. It's called the Ada Lovelace room, and that's where most people in our course or in our field come to just chill out. I think there's a lot of places there. There is one place that I don't go to enough. It's called the City Bar, and that's kind of like this massive common room where everyone just hangs out. Yeah.
Okay. And if we were comparing what it's like to actually study in London, you said you've got friends in different unis. You said theirs is more like prestigious, kind of like things of competition, where yours is more relaxed. What is the best and worst parts of studying in London?
I'd say the best part is because I feel like it's, especially where my uni's located. My uni's located in Farringdon, which is pretty much like the gateway to all the nicer parts of London. There's a lot of places to eat. There's a lot of places to hang out. If you're a party goer, there's a lot of places to party. I think that would be the best part about, especially if you're in accommodation. It's some of the most fun you can have staying anywhere. I'd say the worst parts, if you don't live directly near the uni, travel can get a bit hard. Because
oh, sorry, go on.
No, please go on.
No, you finish what you're saying, because it's a hard travel. Because
I mean, I don't live inherently far. I live about an hour and 15, an hour and 30 minutes if I take public transport. But I guess we particularly get mixed up with the traffic and with like TFL travel and whatnot. It's always congested inside the actual carriages, and if there's delays and if there's traffic, you lose attendance just like that. So that's the trouble. Yeah.
Is it expensive traveling more nearly, quote unquote, every week to your lectures and seminars?
Travel is very expensive, I'll be honest. Even with the student discount that's applicable to me right now, if I was to buy a travel card from, for example, zone 1 to zone 4, that'd be around 40 to 50 a week, and then in total that's almost 200 a month. So it does take its toll, especially even if you're on student finance. At least half of it is going to go into travel, I'd say.
Okay. If we were talking to yourself back in when you were picking your course, picking your university, what advice would you give to yourself?
What advice would I give to myself? I'd say take a number of things with a grain of salt. Like, I get this is university and this is important for everybody's future, but there will come a time where you might not have everything figured out. They might have given you a coursework and you only have 2 weeks to do it, and you don't know anything about like a module, for example. And advice I'd give is take time to understand what's going on. Like, to be honest, for the most part, even with AI, like AI could probably do every coursework I've ever done. There's no easy way out of it. You just have to be able to find your way out. I think that's the most important thing, is finding your way out of coursework, of exams, of a number of things, because it's not like school where they teach you something and then they test you on it. They will teach you something whether you understand it or not, and you have to understand it and then use it to do your coursework, which is a challenge for anybody this is the first time majority of people are doing a university.
Okay. And if we go into apprenticeships, is there a reason you didn't choose an apprenticeship and you decided to go to university?
I had been applying during year 13. I didn't get into any either. I'll be honest, I am terrible when it comes to applications. I don't know what it is. I cannot answer those, why do you think this would be good, or why do you want to do this, to be honest. But I'd say, I think apprenticeship would have been a great opportunity for me and for anyone, because for those who don't know, it's you go to uni and you get real world experience. So you get experience, they pay you, and I don't think there's any tuition fee involved. So it's probably amongst the best gateway into getting into that dream career. The reason I decided to just leave it, because I also needed the university experience as well. I feel like
sorry.
I feel like people that are in apprenticeships wouldn't have the social experience that I've had doing university full time, the connections I've made, the people I've met, the friends I've made. I feel like that's also priceless, and I feel like going to an apprenticeship role also kind of boxes me in. But if I was given the choice, I'll be honest, I would have probably done an apprenticeship, but it didn't work out for me. But we're here though. That's what matters.
So then that begs the question: is university worth it in 2025?
Is university worth it for what though?
Worth it for what? Sorry.
What? But yeah, adding to the question, what would it be worth for? Like,
that's your own definition. It's a blanket statement for you to interpret it how you like.
It really depends, because it depends what you want out of university. If you want a stable career, like anything you've ever like, if you wanted just a stable, simple career, if there's something you really enjoy doing that you can get a degree out of, then university would be worth it for you. But if you kind of have aspirations that don't tie into what you're studying, that's where the question delves into the yes or no argument. But I'd say university is worth it, because it lays a foundation whether you want to pursue that career or not. I know parents tend to say that, oh, this is like a safety net if your other side venture doesn't work. But at the same time, I get where they're coming from in that sense. You can always have your career and you can always do what you want to do. But if you don't have like that degree or that internship, if you don't have that foundation and you go into this career, you're also playing a dangerous game as well. I'd say that. That's why I wouldn't really advise people, for example, whether it's content creation, developers, anything. I don't think they should just drop out, sacrifice everything, and go into that field. Even if they were the greatest in the world at it, I still wouldn't recommend it. I feel like university is important for a number of things, like I mentioned, the connections and the connections, the degree, the experience. I think that's also what shapes some of the best people we've seen.
Okay. Can you tell us about your social media?
Social media. I don't even know where to begin. So the story goes is that originally, funny enough, I started in 2024, and I'll be honest, I wanted to become a streamer on a platform called Kick, but I wasn't a huge fan of what they were doing on that platform. So I decided to kind of just digress and just like record myself on my phone. Originally, I was meant to start in 2022 during A levels because my friend said you should start. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the funniest, greatest comedic mind in the world, but I was making a lot of people around me laugh. So I thought, why don't I just make others laugh by just talking? And so that's why I started it. Really, there was no real structure. There was no real. I'd say the only recurring thing I've done on social media was making fun of universities. But aside from that, I was mostly just doing it for fun. I never really expected it to gain the traction and for me to make the connections of people that I did. I think that's really been truly remarkable.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, go on.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just gonna say that I didn't think it was gonna go that far first year. I think most of my following, most of my views came from 2024. I think 2025 has been a slow year because I'm mostly been focusing on other things. Like I want to do YouTube. I know how to edit. I've got the means to make videos. I wanted to make videos, so I completely stopped in August. But it's also been a good year because I had my second most viral video this year, which I didn't expect either. I think that's the beauty about making content. Anyone can have a viral video. Literally anybody on this planet can turn on their phone and get any amount of views that they like. I honestly believe that. And I'm not gonna sit here because I'm not Mr. Consistent whatsoever. But anyone can turn on the camera, make just one valid point or one funny joke, and their life could change. You might not leave your parents' house. I haven't left my parents' house despite all the numbers I've supposedly done. But I feel like anyone can really change their life from doing this, whether it's financially, whether it's physically, whether it's mentally, whether it's socially. You know, I'm only this is my second year actually doing it, and I've already had people come up to me and say, "I love your content," and I'm not even a superstar. I've only got give or take 1,300 followers, but the fact that people resonate with me. And I'm not a superstar, I'm not a legend, I'm not anything. I'm just someone that turns on their camera and says stupid things. It's very heartwarming, and I wish to take it a step further soon.
Hey, thank you.